This is another milestone in the decline of the American capitalist system relative to its number one competitor. It's always been true in human history that you can delay technical change, but you can never stop it. The newcomers borrow, steal, buy the old technology from those who went before and quickly understand the gains to be made from taking it further. The Chinese are shifting from specialists in copying technology from the West to becoming the pioneer who develops it and begins to have to worry about who will copy them. The United States copied European technology to get where it finally ended up. The baton is being passed, not willingly, not graciously, not all at once, but passing it always does. And we would be better off as a nation facing it, sitting down with the Chinese and trying to work out a livable coexistence on this planet rather than shaking the sword every time our fading empire is shown to be fading. Mr. Trump says it's a wake-up call. Yeah, it sure is. And you've been asleep in a lot of ways if you haven't been able to see all of this coming. But we're still not done. You know, it's a sign of a declining system. We take billions and a long time to what the new upcomer shows us could be done with lots less money in lots less time. This efficiency and innovation we're talking about is boosting the Chinese economy. But in the United States, we like to act as though our things are no danger to anybody. But the Chinese, you see, this is over, this game. I want to talk to you today about DeepSeek, an obscure small Chinese startup in the technology field that has shaken literally the whole world, starting with the collapse of this week in the stock market here in New York, as one sign of what this little company has been able to achieve. Its name is becoming legendary, DeepSeek. It's a small company. It started in May of 2023. That's not very long ago, a little over a year and a half. It was started by an individual Chinese entrepreneur, a small company, like many startups in China, because it is a society and an economy which stimulates, supports, finances, encourages startup new companies. They want to be independent of the United States, which is hardly surprising given the hostility of the United States to them. They wanted to be independent of the chip industry in the United States, partly because it was more advanced than the Chinese. It isn't so much anymore. And because the United States government was banning export of chips and chip-making machinery to China, thereby trying, not successfully, to hold back Chinese economic and particularly technical development. Long story short, using way less money, I mean a tiny fraction of what the money has been in this country devoted to artificial intelligence and the chips that make it possible, for much less money, they produced a product, an AI product, as good in some ways, better in other ways, than what was coming out of the huge monopolies here in the United States that control that industry. And you know who they are because they're in the newspaper every day. And as if to make it clear to the rest of the world what dominates in this country, President Trump's inauguration had behind him, in the prime chairs next to the president, the heads of these big monopolies, not the political officials that run this society. If you ever needed a symbol of what counts and what doesn't, there you had it. But now the Chinese have upended all of that. They not only produced with much less money an equal or better product, but they also made it freely available around the world via the internet. An extraordinary combination of moods you don't often see.